is what I meant.
It would have been interesting just because it would have been a bad idea from Sprout. So
Yeah.
that would have been, I guess, exciting to think what have they done to prepare themselves for this. Although old Sprout was nuts at Nuke at one point. There was a stage where I think they were on like a 13 or 14 win streak. But since then, have had a couple of change-ups. Things haven't been as good. They've avoided it in this series. And Ancient, though, which has looked pretty good for them, of course, is going to be the one that they're going ahead with. In terms of experience playing the map, a little bit more there for Mad Lions, but both teams are well-versed.
They certainly are, and already into the pistol round, TMB is going to bring the Julies out to play. A little bit of utility for the Mad Lions as well. Saucer with a flashbang still to utilize, but Sprout, they've got the smoke and the molly of Speedy, who's going to be setting a little bit up for his team here. JL with the USP in towards Temple, hoping to find a shot or two, and he will connect onto Favon, looking for a little bit more. He's losing teammates though, and needs to be careful he doesn't give himself up, which he eventually will to Cressy, whose Glock is going to put a hole in his cranium. Now a 3v4 retake required for the Mad Lions. Cressy looking to try and deny entry from the Temple. Baits in for his teammate Slacks, and it's a nice little round coming through for Sprout.
Indeed, good entries initially onto the bomb site, of course, but they close it out really quickly then, just cutting off those rotations before anything at all could really be done. Solid start from Sprout. It was a slow season in Premier, I believe, in terms of the start for them, but they've definitely recovered. It took them just a little bit longer to actually fit Ralds into the lineup, in comparison especially to how we've seen them kind of adapt to their previous changes. For example, when they removed Snatchy and Diha, they brought in Slacks and Cressy. They adapted real quick to that, still done well in the previous season. But taking out Dennis, a support player, we actually talked to Enke, I believe, about it as well, and he was saying that obviously it is a bit different. They have to try and fit players into those roles that sometimes players don't want. Maybe it's Cressy, I think, who's taking a little bit of a step back to give that freedom over to Ralds. So it was a bit of a different sort of change-up, losing a player who normally sacrifices for the team, rather than just replacing the fraggers. Kill so far, though, in this round. It's likely not going to lead to very much, but if they can get another frag, it wouldn't be too bad. A little bit of damage. I think more likely, though, it's to be the save. Although, as I said, I see the flank still moving around. Nade goes in, doesn't really land anything. And this flank isn't going to be in position in time to really do anything, I wouldn't imagine. So I'd much prefer it just being saved so that they can have a little bit to work with in this next round and maybe have some hope of perhaps winning it.
I think that's what they're going for here. You can see they're already sort of not really looking in towards this A site anymore. They're just sort of mooching about over towards mid, seeing if maybe they can get a kill. But I think just want to see if these Eagles can stay alive. Oh, Saucel actually is looking a little bit inquisitive for maybe a frag here, as there's a few players in towards main. He might be able to catch Favon around the corner. Just depends on the timing here, with TMB now coming to join him. There's too many players to find anything here. Saucel does get one. The bomb will take him down. TMB can't quite get the spam with the Deagle sorted. So Sprout find a second. A second kill comes through for the Mad Lions, but as you said, it's not anything major that's going to sort of hamper Sprout going forward. And so the Mad Lions now just left with the USPs for the most part, I think.
Should be. 1 P250 there for Barup. A flash bot by TMB, but other than that, yeah, they don't have the economy to really invest anything in. It should be the 3-0 for Sprout. It should be quite an easy one as well. I would imagine they don't lose too much here. Ideally, don't want to be losing anything at all. And absolutely build a bank on Slacks as well, and indeed they line up. I figured he might have been in trouble there after getting the second, as the spray wasn't working out too well. He was kind of just spraying the knees of that second player, but it ended up working out because the other player stepped in front of it as well. TMB, he'd been spotted falling back onto B right there. Tried to B hop around. Lots of B's there. It's must be a hive.
That was so bad, I love it.
Yeah, TMB wasn't able to break out though. That's the scheme still going. 3-0. A round for Sprout that was expected, so we're not really too surprised by that. This is where things really get exciting though.
Yeah, guns out. Mad Lions a chance to get themselves on the board. They'll have Warrow with the AWP, and obviously he's another one of these sort of Ukrainian AWPers that we've seen sort of rise recently, and oh my god, Sprout! Look at Sprout, they're just all the way in towards A already. They've already got temple control. With a minute 35 on the clock. JL, though, has had enough of that. Borup's going to push forward. He actually gets a dink onto Cressy as well. Huge amounts of damage being done, but unfortunately, the A1S just not got that one-shot potential to the face. As Waro looks to try and find the shot, but gets caught around the edge of the smoke. Look who his teammates are going to recover things. They'll get an AWP, they'll get an AK recovered, and Mad Lions will find a first round. But Sprout, just an alpha call. Just rushing in towards an A site.
Yeah, you can understand it going into the first gun round. You think, okay, maybe they won't expect us perhaps to have such a high pace coming into a crucial opening gun round. Perhaps their nades, more importantly, will be slightly limited, so they won't have the mollies to just toss down just in case, rather having to be conservative with it. And it did work out initially because they covered a ton of ground before they found any of the contact, but that double kill from JL is really what clinches it to give them a chance to fight for the round. If he went down with nothing, then it might have even been a position where Mad Lions would already be forced into just considering the save. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. They're able to pull out the first gun round now in their favor, but it was pretty much the bonus from Sprout, especially with the bomb going down. They're still able to pull out an extremely strong buy here and will just try to fire straight back.
Yeah, there's a lot of important plays from that CT defense over towards A there. Borup getting huge amounts of damage and a kill through JL with those 2-for-1 kills. That was really what sort of swung it back in their favor. I think without them, yeah, Sprout probably wins the round out, as you say. But TMB, he's really trying to find a spam here to get some damage for his round. He's actually going to force him back to Molly now from that Lamps position. Just a bit of a skirmish so far in this round, as it's a much more sedate affair as opposed to the last 50 seconds on the clock. I don't think we saw that time at all in the previous round. Moro just posted up, looking potentially for an opening frag, but nobody's going to offer themselves up for the time being. Just have to hold station for now, as Sprout are actually going to backtrack towards this A site, and they are showing this A site a lot of love early on here.
Yeah, not usually the site that's favoured. Sprout are liking it so far, and it's forced Mad Lions to play a little bit more forward on the bomb site itself. They have two players in towards the temple, trying to play the bait and switch. Barup is hoping to take all of the attention. He was hoping some kills could be found as well. Did at least do some pretty good damage, which let TMB grab himself one. JL now gonna pounce, but he's only able to get the single kill, and TMB is not able to hang on to the back of the bomb site either. It's falling apart right now for Mad Lions. Waro's left alone. What can he do? The nade comes in down to 7 health, and despite Favin being low, the op in his hands, it really doesn't matter. Easy finish for Favin. One bullet to the body. He picks up the op as well for it to be thrown over towards Slacks. And Sprout have gone ahead and immediately returned the round, as I said they'd look to. That's destroyed the economy of Mad Lions. They don't have enough for a buy. They'll have to take an eco here to concede a 5-1 lead over the Sprout. As we said, in terms of what's on the line, it's Sprout in theory who still have an opportunity to actually go ahead and recover the group stage for themselves, potentially still get some points out of it. And since they already have 400, if they can just get into the top 11, I do believe it would be enough for them to actually get to the major, depending on, of course, if those other teams around them manage to get more points or not. But they're currently within the points anyway. Mad Lions, on the other hand, they don't have any yet, so they would have needed a much better group stage here. Ideally have made it towards the playoffs if they wanted an opportunity.
Just hoping that maybe a spam lands a fortunate shot there. Not going to happen, though, for the time being, as against these pistols shouldn't be too much resistance from this CT defense. I think, for the most part, they're just looking to get a kill or two. Try and limit this Sprout economy once more, but it's also wants to find at all. He spots the shadows, can't hit the shots, though, as Speedy is quick on the trigger, and now this B site is finally gonna get some attention. Speedy wanting to look for an opening, but it slacks on the AWP that's really looking deep. See if he can find more for his team. As Sprout, 30 seconds on the clock. They're going to start rotating over, and Borup is going to be in a great position here. 25 seconds. 5-7 in hand. Rawls isn't checking him. Borup gets 2 of the 5-7. Huge kills found. Cressy's going to have to go and get some work done over towards mid, but he doesn't expect TMB, who just guns him down with a deagle, and this round is on its head. Favon, last alive, 1 versus 3 with 10 seconds on the clock. There's no way he can win this one out. As Mad Lions are going to steal away an absolute corker of a round there. It may only be TMB who survives, but they don't care about that. They have just clutched around from almost the jaws of defeat there.
Yeah, the 5-7 of Borup is nasty. The 5-7 never works too well for me. Maybe I should just get good. That would be probably the best action,
Yeah.
to be
Less
honest.
so the weapon, more so the user.
Yeah, no, I'm very rusty, to be honest, now at CS. Don't play it quite as often. Spend a lot of the time rather watching it. But a good pickup from Mad Lions. It gives them now the opportunity to start equalizing things out. If they win this one, which is only a half investment from Sprout, then they're up towards 3 already. That'll be the gun round then. If they can win that next gun round, they have a chance to even get in towards the lead, but there's still an op for Slacks to work with. So I was going to say, it's not a definite win here, and he does find himself one before Waro makes the return happen. I think over the top of that smoke. It was true, but I'm pretty sure he had a small bit of vision. Nice push by JL as well. In for the trade there onto Sosol to ensure Favon wasn't going to recover the weapon. And now it's all on Rowls. He's crept his way into the back of B, but he hasn't got the bomb in his possession, unfortunately. That's down on mid. But if he moves relatively quickly, it will be JL likely still on his own because Waro hasn't budged currently from the temple on that A-bomb site. This would be a big clutch for the newcomer to Sprout if he's able to pull it off. He's impressed me big time so far in Premier. Even in the games early on when they were struggling to actually pick up the wins, he was usually a pretty big shining star for them. Definitely seems like a solid addition, and let's see now what can he make happen. Comes in contact with the op first and Donut, and unfortunately wasn't quite ready for it. Waro wasn't posted on the angle the whole time. He steps into it just after initially Rals had cleared it out. That's going to be 3 from Mad Lions. They managed to pull one off, as we said, with very little to work. They managed to pull that one off up against the round where there was very little to work with for Sprout, but there's still tons of damage. So they need to now be cautious and ensure that they don't drop this one. Otherwise, all that damage that they just took is going to leave them completely broken. And we'll let Sprout again just going to get back to taking that lead that they had a few moments ago. No off for Slacks, though.
Yeah, huge missing piece of weaponry there, but Favon to make up for it. Nice opening kill, takes Sourcel out of action, up close with the MP9, not able to secure the shots is TMB. Waro, though, finally gets a little bit of damage for this Mad Lions side. Borup's there as well, as together in tandem, they look to try and work their way back in towards the site, but a huge chance for Borup there. Not going to connect. Waro's finding more shots, though, as he's really looking to make a claim in this round and in this game, as he's now left all Speedy, who's going to be able to push through the smoke, catches JL, and now up close against Speedy. Can't find the shots. Instant headshot found, and he's going to be able to find Sprout a 5th. But man, these guerrilla rounds are not decisive at all. It's back and forth all the way through. Sprout found that early openings, then Mad Lions fought back with the kills from Waro. But as you said, now Mad Lions, their economy is really not in a good place, and they are going to have to dig deep if they want to try and find another round here. Like you can see, they've gone for the full investment. Sourcel picks up the AWP, along with a few Deagles and a 5-7. It's just fast in towards B for the Sprout side. Rawls, he's first in at Mac 10. For him, having done a Tech 9, they know that this economy is not going to be too strong for the Mad Lions. There's already an opening kill found. Cressy getting a couple kills before Borup's need dunks him down.
Yeah, and they should be pretty good from this point onwards. If they peek into the off, it could get a little bit dangerous against Sosol, but unfortunately he doesn't land the shot, and with that, Mad Lions, they've dropped here a very crucial gun round, as we said, one that they couldn't really afford to let go. They're not going to have anything left now into this next round, so it's going to be a full eco. If this op isn't saved, there's not going to be much to be done, and indeed, Sprout, they denied a save of the op. They likely won't take it themselves, although if he wanted, he could there, because Ral's only had a Mac 10. But then you'd have 2 ops on the T side of Ancient, so it's probably just better you leave it. You have the Mac 10 in a round here up against the likely Cavalierless opponents as well. They do get themselves 2400 loss bonus, so there's no need to force up. They're not on a double eco, but I mean, even with the 2400, the buy itself in the next round will be somewhat limited, but I don't think they could afford to give away anymore, even if they wanted to actually just try and get a stronger buy. Giving away 8 would be a little bit too much. I like this though, a bit of switch up, pushing in towards main with everyone. The Mac 10 is here, but Ral's can only get one. It's the AKs and the Tech 9 instead to do most of the cleanup. Ral's, he's got to be a little bit annoyed there because that's kind of like a Mac 10 player's fever dream to have all 5 players just kind of charging in front of you, but he gets absolutely destroyed before he can really do anything. But overall, he's going to be happy with the fact that his teammates then salvaged the whole round without losing anything else at all. So it's a clean one. It's 7-3. And if Sprout can win out this gun round, then Mad Lions are going to be just spiraling out of control completely.
Just to point out as well, that last round lasted 13 seconds.
Really? Damn, it was that quick?
Yeah, it was that quick. A minute 42 left on the clock when they came to a close. We've already passed in this round. So, Speedy, again, finding a lot of space for his team now as Sprout. Already closing in on an 8 in this first half. This is a huge early game presence from this Sprout side, who have looked a little bit ropey, haven't had the most success, but against this Mad Lions team, good start for them. And Slacks has already doubled it up as well.
Yeah, they can just kind of sit on the advantage now with the time they still have remain, and no real pressure for Sprout to push the issue. As I said, slowing it down for a moment. On the smoke there over to his teammate, I think. That's handy. Ralz doesn't have to come back from the position he wants to lurk just to throw the smoke. Instead, he can give it over to Speedy, who'll be able to do it for him. Just the little things that the ability to drop the nades has gone ahead and added to the game. It's nothing massive, but it makes a small change that can add a few strategical moments of communication and such that will help you out. Boost in for Slacks. No one actually peeking this angle, of course, since the kind of risk has been taken already by Mad Lions to stack up A. And I admire it, a gamble being taken in the 3-on-5. It kind of needs to happen, but it is just that. It's a gamble. It means it's a bit of a risk and it may not pay off. And unfortunately, that is the case in this situation. But at least they get the opportunity to save their weapons. You've always got to look for the silver lining, I suppose, but if I'm looking at it from the other perspective, Sprout have gone ahead and confirmed the lead already at the halftime here on their T side. This is an incredible showing, and honestly, they're not really looking to slow down either, are they?
Oh, it's looking relentless right now from the mostly German side. And a clean round as well. Like, this is going to just boost their economy even further out of proportion, because you can see the economy they already have right now. Everybody's above $4,000, and now, boom! Look at all that cash. Look at all that cash. Cressy's on $10,000. Slacks and Faven aren't too far behind. Rawls and Speedy, they're above $7,000. Obviously, before they now rebuy utility, but massive amounts of cash for Sprout. They can buy for the next few rounds.
Their economy has actually built up pretty quickly. It wasn't looking very good a couple of rounds back, even. That's came out of these last couple of ones being a little bit more decisive, of course, as they've really started to kind of their lead. Timeout is well, I'd say, timed here for Mad Lions. They need a bit of a chat. They need to turn things around right now, really, if they want to be coming out with an even somewhat decent CT side. 7 will be be the goal, of course. At least 6, though, I think, to make it a plausible half that they can work off of. Here we go. No up, unfortunately. That's going to be a bit of an issue for Waro, especially with how Slacks is playing so far. He's been very aggressive and very effective on his op with the opening picks.
Yeah, 11-6 right now. He is he's looking pretty strong, but so is Speedy, and so is Faven. I mean, those are the 3 players right now that are putting up the heavy numbers for Sprout. They've not really needed Cressy and Rawls all too much, but they're still in there. They're still finding decent frags. They're not letting themselves get overrun by these Mad Lions side. That's a lot of damage from Rawls.
He's going to be limping.
Huge opening kill for Sprout, yeah.
Just because of the slight elevation there is why I believe it ended up hitting the knees, because he was spraying at kind of the regular kind of height from his standing position, but obviously he was down the ramp slightly, a bit higher, and he might have even had the kill. It's fortunate for TMB, though. He needs to hang on to his life. They have so few nades, though. Look at how terrible the utility is already with well over a minute remaining. They have a single smoke and now a single flash as well, as they've thrown out the other one, I believe.
Sprout will probably have a relatively easy time of things in the post plant. Provided they actually get it there. I'm sure they probably will, because now you can see on the map that this Sprout side is looking to form up towards the A side. A couple players going to be pushing through the donut, but that last smoke for the Mad Lions is well timed. It gives Borup a bit of extra time. As Rals and Favin are held behind. The rest of these Sprout players are looking to try and push out through the A main position. They've already found JL. Now Borup is in an awful position. He has to find multiple kills, and Slacks on the AWP is just making mincemeat while Rals clears out the donut position. Borup can't do anything. Mad Lions just get slapped down in this round. Nothing they can do, just no mercy from the Sprout side.
With only 9 seconds left as well as the bomb actually goes down there, I believe. So if they could have put up some resistance, then it may have been enough to win it just based on the time purely. So it's a bit awkward. They are again forced into the save. It's not going to give them quite enough for the buy. Well, I mean, they could go for it actually because Barup has 800. So with the full loss bonus, he should be able to go ahead and just pull it out anyway. And they should be able to drop the 2 rifles. But again, it's going to have its limitations. They shouldn't have the op to work with. The nades will be not quite there. So it's just such an awkward spot to constantly be. And we haven't seen them get a proper investment in a while. That's all had stuck around. That was ambitious, to be honest, because damage is not going to help them, and he needed that M4. Thankfully, he does hang on to it. I'm not sure why he really wanted to stick around for the frag. Drops it over to Waro either way, can buy himself up a new one. Maybe it was just kind of like a little blessing. He puts a kill on the M4 before he gifts it to Waro.
If there was a way to bless an M4, I'm not sure it'd be the Kiss. As Sprout again, they're returning to their, what was it, round 4 strat of just rushing in towards this A site. A little bit more utility, this time at least, from them. And JL has at least managed to hold them off in return, but already an opening kill for either side of the equation. Spiddy and Sorcel have both been found, and they need to get this bomb planted. Favin's been tapping it out, has baited out a few shots, as they'll try and get the smokes down to cover these avenues, but TMB is in an awkward position for these Sprout players. He might need to push forward and try and clear him out, in fact. With him there's not going to be any real safe positions to plant. And finally, Slacks takes him down. Borup tries to trade, but the shot onto Ralph just can't be found. Waro and JL finally get a few kills as the guy does the worm on the floor for some reason. But Favin is now left all on his lonesome. 1 versus 2. First shot has been found. It doesn't even take that much damage from it. He's now going to switch to the Tech 9. And how about that? Tech 9 to close it down. 10 on the board for Sprout. As even in a situation like that where things get very, very dicey, they're able to pull out Snake Eyes.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of these clutches. The one Spiddy found, obviously, earlier on from Cave over on B. Now it was Favin's turn from the Temple. They seem to just be able to play these individual angles well. But you've got to say, the fact that they're able to win out these 1-on-2s in the choke points, where in theory, if they're double swung on, they should be at the very least traded, it is showing you that Mad Lions are a little bit off on the communication and the trades and such towards each other. Definitely some opportunities being given away, but Sprout are playing fantastically at the moment to go ahead and capitalize on it. A good entry, though, from TMB. Potential upgrade as well in a moment as he moves in indeed to get himself the AK and should be able to back away with his life. Although, as I said, Sosol also pushing the ramp, thankfully decides to go ahead and just give up on his dreams of the B aggression. It's not really necessary anymore. Maybe he could get the MP5, that would have been nice. Looks like Sprout are going to move back to actually head through the smoke once it fades, or maybe even before as the flash goes in. Nah, not quite yet.
Nice aggressive position from TMB, though. Obviously getting that opening kill. He's just going to be the sole defender towards B in this advanced position outside of lamps. He's going to have a few players coming his way, but he looks away. Back in time and gets another shot through. Can't get any more, though, as eventually Favin puts him to bed. Almost a double for Waro, as he does take down Favin. Greaves Cressy on life support. And will finish the job on the second time of asking. Slacks not going to have a chance. Waro has come out swinging in the penultimate round of his half. Finally getting a little bit of form through on that AWP. Finally getting a 4th round through. But Sprout, they have so much cash, they aren't too worried. They'll gladly give up around there and just secure this next and make it an 11-4 half.
Yeah, but if Mad Lions can get 5, get the pistol then in the second half, suddenly they're right back into this, especially then if the opening gun round is able to go their way. They'd likely be even tying things up in terms of the scoreline. So you can see the path forward, it just needs to be pretty much flawless, and with the level of Sprout, that's going to be so hard to make happen. Already the entry up on towards B coming through for Favin. He's been the man who's just led the way on all of these charges, and he's looking unstoppable. Rals as well, ripping off the head of TMB. As again, they're never really in position to work off of each other on the side of Mad Lions here. That player takes the fight. There's no one ready to trade. When the initial defender's on the bomb site as well, there's no one else, unfortunately, around. That one's a little bit more understandable. I think they're in that situation. They needed to just wait and work off of each other to play for the 4-on-5 rather than giving away another kill and now leaving them in a damn near impossible position as Favin gets flashed in. It's only JL left standing. And that one kill, it's not going to do too much for him when he's got to move forward. It's the last round of the half. Cressy's going to be there for the final headshot. It's 11-4 for Sprout as they look absolutely fantastic. They'll look to try and close it out, guys, in that second half. But first of all, we are going to have to take just a little bit of a break. All right, everyone, welcome back. We're in it for the second half now, and Mad Lions, they did have a small bit of a recovery there towards the end of the half, but Sprout have still managed to come out with an 11-4 scoreline, meaning this pistol round could be do or die for Mad Lions. If they don't get it, then Sprout are likely just going to be running to that finish line. And well, it's going to be a very quick round coming through as well. Straight up rush on towards this B bomb site. Cressy had a decent start, but he struggled to actually connect onto the second player. Done at least some decent damage onto Waro, but it's the 4-on-4. You've got these Glocks aggressive for the afterplant up close and personal where they shine, and it's absolute destruction. Madline's looking good here in the pistol. Perhaps their T side is going to be a bit of a step up from what they've shown us in that previous half. But Slacks, I was going to say maybe we can't count them out of the clutch, but the smoke makes things just a bit too complicated. He had no vision there. It's going to be 5 for Madlines and a bit of hope as well.
A bit of hope. A light at the end of the tunnel, perhaps. Let's just hope it isn't a train.
Nah, they got rid of that for this one, sadly.
Ah. Still miss train.
Yeah, that's on
Good
you,
map.
though. There's usually a schedule. So. I'm sorry, I'll stop the terrible jokes.
Oh, my lord. You're going to be the death of me, Dean. I'll tell you that.
Oh, he didn't land that. It looked like it was on the body. He looks like he's pretty certain it was as well, considering he followed it up with the nade. But yeah, I may be the death of you, but it's right now Sprout who are looking to be the death of Madlines. If they steal this one away, then there's zero hope again. The destruction of the economy would be in play with no loss bonus. It's a desperate attempt to spray them down from Waro, and he's only able to land on the one. This is getting awkward. Ralph, how did he pull that one off? It's all onto Barup. I don't even know. I was kind of trying to build up the story for Sprout, but I didn't believe it would be quite this easy, as Barup is left in the 1-on-3. Favin's the only healthy player, but he might not expect the man in the smoke beside him, first of all, but also Favin in behind the box right now. He should be caught from the back. Trades out the weapon. That's going to confirm his position. There's players all around. He's gotten the first two. And as I said now, Ralls is not looking too healthy. Obviously, Barup not either himself, but he's going to tuck in. Is it being held? No, not quite. He doesn't have the kit to work with either, so a full 10 seconds would have been needed, and Barup manages to save the day, but that gets way too dangerous. That is a scary position to be put in. Obviously, now they'll be against the Eco, most likely, although Sprout could be mad and force buy since it was such a close round, and they should have a chance now to at least make up for it, but Jesus Christ.
How does he stay alive there?
Don't know. I thought he was screwed with the two players behind them.
Yeah.
I figured the man who was in the smoke would probably be ready for the double peak with Favin, but he had already moved into the bomb site, so it ended up working out and giving him an opportunity to get all the 1v1s.
The timeout called as well, because they didn't secure that round cleanly at all. They will be able to recover and get those rifles through once more, and an SMG or two as well, I assume, inside the roster. JL going for that MP5. What's with these MP5 buys?
It's just an
What's with these
MP5er.
MP5 buys? Man, like, we saw, was it Shock? On the Sinners wielding one in that previous game. Now we've seen JL and TMB wielding MP5s here. MP5 Resurgence or something, man.
It makes more sense in these cases, but yeah, you're right. We don't usually see that quite as much. Normally, players will just stick to the MP7. But it was more so that it was a hero MP5 we've seen pulled out before that really it made me kind of question it. I understand it more so in these rounds against the pistols, even if I think it's not the most effective of the SMGs when it comes to the gun rounds. So longevity wise, it can get a bit awkward. It just doesn't have the range. It's really good up close, but it seems to have more of a drop off than some of them.
I just feel like you generally in these sort of situations, you just roll with a Mac 10.
Usually the case, yeah. A bit less investment. Doesn't really seem to matter though. They've got all the kills and only suffered one casualty.
At least they've got that going for them as they do begin to close up. But now, the first real tests come through as Sprout. They'll be going for those full guns. You're going to see Slacks on that AWP straight away. And a huge amount of impact in that first half from Slacks. He'll be hoping he can do more of the same here in the second half. Now on the defensive side with that weapon, but still got Mad Lions on a bit of a bonus here. You've got a few AKs, you've got those two SMGs. Slacks is just going to run through the molly. There's a smoke blocking his front, and instead he's going to have to try and just fall away.
JL still enjoying his MP5. As I said, it doesn't give you kind of the future proofing of maybe even the Mac 10. Not a bad weapon. Waro, how has he crept so far forward without being spotted? Okay, they're actually both pushed up in cave, so he's going to likely catch the kill here and towards the spawn. JL actually gets first contact, finds Cressy, and as I said, now just completely distracted. Ralph goes down a second from Waro. This is much, much better from Madlines. Bit of an awkward round from Sprout as they tried to take a gamble, leaving the bomb site itself open and instead just kind of stacking all that aggression in towards the lamps. And it doesn't pay off at all. Slacks is going to be left to try and save the up. We'll be over an A in a decent position, but the problem is Barup's already pretty close. I'm kind of surprised they're willing to hunt this as aggressively as they are. I suppose the Mac 10 makes sense, but they don't have tons of money, even if they do have a little bit. When you're down by this many rounds, ideally you want to be building up a strong bank. But I guess they realize if they take the up away from Slacks, then they won't have really anything to work with in this next round on the side of Sprout. It's the force buy no matter what, so having the up would be a nice assistance on top of the pistols and Kevlar that they'll definitely have in play. And he should, I think, be able to carry it over. Yeah, TMB is only heading in towards Donut now. They've started kind of crunching in and I guess narrowing down all the positions he could be in, but they just won't have the time to make it.
No. Unless Slacks went for some aggressive peek on them. They were too far away.
Did a
So,
no clip.
yeah, the classic. I don't know why I said the classic. I don't
Classic.
know what's the classic in.
This isn't Valorant.
No.
It's the pistol.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more of a Ghost user personally, but that's fine.
I don't play a ton of it. I just hop on it with Mitch every now and again when he's not casting it. If he wants to play some unrated. I don't have a rank even, so I can't play ranked with him. It's very strict in that regard. Prefer CS? Anyway, that's why we're here. And Slacks. That is nasty. Barup just kind of put himself right into the crosshair, though. There wasn't much adjustment of the mouse needed to be done.
Now you've still got all those pistols that need to find a little bit of success alongside this AWP. You can't really have the AWP required to do all of the heavy lifting in this round. Maybe 3 or so kills. You say, oh, that'd be great, but you need the pistols to find a little bit as well. And Slacks has completely readjusted his angle now over the round. Oh, but he can't find the shot, misses the chance onto JL. It could have been a huge kill, but instead, he goes down. At least the AWP is recovered by Cressy. So it's going to continue its life in this round, just with a new owner. It's creeping in towards his A side, the Mad Lions side, and they're now starting to stabilize this one. Man advantage found. They're going to extend upon it. And with the A site secured, bomb to be planted very, very shortly. It's just Speedy and Cressy, and I'm assuming they'll probably hold on to that AWP for another round as well.
Should do, unless the hunt is successful this time. A little bit more money built up in the bank, so maybe they can afford to send one out, but they also don't have a Mac 10 this time. It'll be all rifles they risk losing and potentially giving over as well, in the case of Spitty, who doesn't already have one in possession. He's dead now, though. So I guess at this stage, it's only the up that's left standing, so it's probably worth trying to actually go and hunt this one down, and you can see that's what they're giving a go, rather. Unfortunately, Sossol's the first man to find contact in towards the spawn, when the rest of the team aren't quite ready to move on towards the site as of yet. They can give it a couple of seconds. The other players rush towards the ramp. They should almost be able to confirm this kill, but Cressy, he's getting all of the 1v1 opportunities. Lads, you had time. Just wait a couple of seconds and peek it together, please. What are you doing?
An absolute travesty there. Oh dear,
seconds, come on.
They spent so much cash on that one, as you say. If they just double peeked him, no chance for the AWP to get the reset shot through, and you just kill him, easy. But at least they're able to get a rebuy through Mad Lions. That's at least the silver lining to that. As you said, they had the money to sort of spare on a push. The only issue is they have to spare a lot of cash, and unfortunately are not even able to take the AWP away. So now you have the Sprout side with a pretty solid buy. Two AWPs. I was going to say 2 double AWPs. That would be a little outrageous. But it'd be looking like the graffiti on Dust 2 from Fnatic. But alongside it, they have a couple M4s and just the AUG for Rals. But Slacks has a bullet whiz pie him there. I'm surprised he was able to be spotted there. I'm not sure if maybe Borup was just putting a inquisitive shot in that corner, or if he actually saw him. Assuming if he saw him, he probably would have shot to kill.
Yeah, he got the vision quite. Rals is going to be in trouble. Yeah, the smoke fades away, and there's just too many players coming in. Can't even manage to really do any damage. Favin actually somehow causes a team kill while they're trying to take him down, but it doesn't matter. JL's on one, man. He's just taking out everyone who steps in front of him, teammate or foe. It doesn't really seem to matter to him as long as he can win the round. And, well, it looks to have pretty much confirmed it already. Cressy, who was the healthy man there for Sprout, gets spammed up through the smoke down to 9. He's going to start backing away to try and save alongside Slacks, but you can see TMBs coming in from behind. I don't think that's something Sprout are going to like right now because those weapons are both in danger. Saving them over would give them a decent buy. Okay.
Okay.
It's all you can really say to that one, isn't it? One round in the difference, though. Good recovery from Mad Lions. What's up with everyone's T-sides on Ancient today? They're nuts.
Something in the water there must be in Sweden. Something in the water. Because, yeah, I mean, now just a one-round deficit. Sprout have to call their first timeout here. Out the 4 they have to use, and you need to step up because this is now very, very dangerous. You have the economy's in a weird position. You got Favin at 6K, a couple of players around that 4K mark. I think they're just going to go for a bit of a half buy here, save enough cash for that full buy the next. Because obviously you're on that $30 loss bonus, so you've got plenty of money in that next round to play with as long as you just keep a little bit in reserve here. That's what they're going to do. Favin is actually able to get an M4 considering he had so much excess cash. I think Slacks is just keeping enough for an AWP and all the trimmings as well for that one. We'll see what they can do, because Mad Lions just rolling with the 5 AKs for now, happy, not needing the AWP for the time being. I mean, Warra wasn't able to find massive success with that weapon in the first half. He had a couple nice rounds, but it's mainly been the sort of AKs that have been finding success for this Mad Lions side. And now Warra wielding one himself. JL has players all around him. He's hearing all of these steps. Cressy pushes through the smoke, and actually, the cognizance to check if somebody's inside of that smoke. That is huge from Cressy, a huge frag to find. And now a second rifle for Sprout that they can use in this round. Admittedly, the bomb's planted towards A. They need to try and get themselves into a position to retake the site. They may as well throw everything they have at this because they'll have the gun round in the next round no matter what, as Porup finds it first. Things are not going too well for Sprout. Cressy likes to try and push in, but again, he's caught. Sorcel's just finding multi-kills from the temple, and now it's Favin alone. The man who brought in the initial M4 is eventually going to get taken down, and it's 11-11. Mad Lions tie up this game after an 11-4 deficit.
Yeah, this has been nuts so far. Sprout are really letting things slip. A double up setup is how they're going to try and correct it as well. As you said, it was understandable they moved in there for that retake since they have their full buy coming in here, as you can see, even without anything saved over. It was unfortunate, though, that they didn't even manage another kill to kind of make throwing those weapons away worthwhile. Of course, Mad Lions have built up a pretty solid economy over the 7 rounds they've been able to take for themselves, so it's going to take a few in a row to actually completely break that on the side of Sprout. Early aggression from Slacks as well, looking to try and catch them over on B, but it's a very quick rush into the bomb site. Cressy's overwhelmed. He can't hold on at all as the molly had forced him into the open, but Spitty manages to. It is unfortunately while standing in those flames as well, so he eventually burns alive. But they've delayed by quite a bit. That bomb takes a few seconds to actually be recovered before it can start to be put down. And you've got Barup on pretty low health. Controller fell off my bed. Apologies if you could hear that. I rock my feet. But a 3-on-3 retake to come true. They've got the kit at least. They've got a few nades also to work with. And as I said, with Barup low, they have a slight health advantage.
Oh, this could be the first point of contact here. You've got 2 players in towards the house that are ready to push through, but that's smoke. Is that a misthrown smoke? That was a CT-sided smoke that landed right at the entrance to their push forwards. I think that was not the smoke they wanted to throw.
I'd imagine not. I didn't actually catch I was picking the thing up off the floor.
Yeah, a smoke landed right in front of the entryway into the site, and it was CT-sided, so... I imagine it was maybe for the temple. Sorry, not for the temple, for the house on the right, and maybe just misthrown a little bit, lands in the wrong spot because it completely blocked their way back in towards the site. At least from that avenue, anyway.
I might see it here in a sec on the stream. Not much of a delay. It works as our own kind of function. Yeah, it was. Unfortunately, it was meant to go into the cave, but it landed against one of the kind of curves of the bomb site that I guess outlines where you can plant, and that's what stopped it a bit short. So that was very unfortunate. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a quicker one coming in once again. This time mostly focused towards the lamps instead. But Rals, as they're focused on Spitty, gets the chance to spray down too and doesn't give anything away with it. A very clean spray down indeed. A 5-on-3 in favor of Sprout. And the best position really that they've had early on in one of these CT rounds so far.
And just as Mad Lions take the lead as well, Sprout starts to answer back, finally getting themselves into play on this CT side. The first round looking likely. Borup has found one. Warrow as well with one towards mid. There's potential to split in towards this towards this A site and make life very difficult as Warrow takes Favin out of action. Speedy is quick on the trade, but Borup, 2 HP. He could do this with the AWP. Tries to bait out the peak, switches to the AK-47. He really wants to try and see if he can find this opening frag, or this final frag rather, onto Cressy. But the more time he takes, the further Cressy's going to be able to push. But actually, Borup, oh, he's doing it dirty. He's going all the way towards the B site, just as Cressy rotates in through A main. And the bomb to be planted. Borup knows he's got it safe. And Cressy realizes he's got it wrong. He's going to have to rotate all the way over, and where the hell is Borup going to be playing from? Well, we can see he's obviously over towards the B ramp, but Cressy's going to have no idea. He can make assumptions, but you know what happens when you make assumptions, Dean? When you assume you make an ass out of you and me, and now Borup. You're going to hear the player in the side. After the defuse, he's going to try and hold him inside of the smoke, and Borup finds the shots. Cressy's defusing, and he just about gets it. Takes Cressy down inside the smoke, finds a 13th for the Mad Lions, and that was a 5-on-2, Dean.
Yeah, it gets way, way closer than it ever should have been. Or rather, gets stolen away by Mad Lions. Sprout definitely should have had themselves that round. As we said, it was initially the 5-on-3, managed to even get another kill then before things really started to fall apart. But Borup, great work from him, great work from Warrow as well. They've been definitely the two standout players so far. JL has had his moments as well. He's actually got the same amount of kills, I believe, as Borup. It's just that he also shot a teammate in the back of the head once. He was slightly punished for that, as you would be, you know. 13-11 though. We thought Sprout were finally going to do it. I said that was the best. I did say that was the best opening they'd had into a round on their CT side by far. And even then, they're still somehow not able to get the actual round win. It's looking bad for Sprout, I've got to say. They're left on another half by here. They'll have to concede the 14th most likely. Obviously, there's a bit of a shot for them to do something in this one, but on paper anyway, it should be Mad Lions going up 14-11, leaving Sprout with maybe just one more full gun round before potentially this map's already over. So it's not looking good, especially with the start that they had. It was 11-4 at the halftime, guys. This has just been a flawless T-side from Mad Lions so far, but a very nice shot from Slacks onto Warrow.
Just to point out as well, quickly, whoever loses this map is out of major contention. They have no chance of qualifying for the major, so everything on the line here for both these teams as Mad Lions picking up the pace in the last stages here, looking to find a first win and a nice kill from JL. He's going to even the scoreline in this round. Brings into that 4-on-4. Towards the B side, there is only one defender, and that's Cressy with a scout. Most of this CT defense is positioned over towards A and towards Donut. So with the Mad Lions, they're going to have a pretty simple affair of things as they push in towards B. As it looks like it is the point of entry they want to go for.
Definitely seems to be the goal. If they go quick, then as you were saying, things should be pretty straightforward. There's not really going to be any resistance there for them. It's been another gamble called in by Sprout to stack things around A. And indeed, as they throw their smokes over, as they throw the mollies in, they'll realize pretty soon there's no one here to fight it. With the investment, I suppose, Favin, maybe it's worthwhile him saving over. The rest of them, though, can probably just try and get a couple of kills, see if they can steal a weapon or two away. The economy, while it's good for Mad Lions, it's not too ridiculous, especially if they do the damage now. And it could potentially give them a chance after a few rounds in a row to have a slightly easier time, maybe even once they pretty much equalize things up. But obviously, Sprout will have to turn it around in this next gun round. They're trying to go forward, though, and they do have a kit on Rals. The only thing is, the bomb's already ticked away over halfway. It's not looking like they're really going to have much of a shot at winning the round. It was all about the kills, I suppose, and that hasn't gone too well for them either. Spitty, he's all alone. will eventually get himself the one, but that's it. It's really a very small prize at this point, considering Mad Lions have a 14-11 lead. They've taken 10 rounds in a row. It's just been ridiculous. What is happening?
I have no words for you, Dean. I have no words that can explain this second half and this game in general because Mad Lions are looking to do Sprout dirty here, looking to do him super dirty. It's now 10 in a row from this Mad Lions side and a huge turnaround from them as the Sprout side, they'll go for double orbs. They are going to go all in on that, hope that it's going to be the factor that'll turn things around for them. Laura 2K has the AWP for the T side as well. Early nade damage done. Does good work, but Slacks is the one that finds an opening pick. Warrior is actually going to team kill with a nade? No! Oh, the heartbreak.
Well, that's going to
That's
help a bit.
it helps Sprout, yeah.
I believe he landed the collat as well, so he had actually tagged down TMB. That's what made the nade, of course, get the kill, but not too sure how Waro managed to nade his teammate. Must have been holding it and it threw it or something when the up peaked, kind of out of panic and just hit his teammate, unfortunately. Favin could be in a bit of trouble here. We'll just go ahead and retreat off the angle. He's not really too pressured into taking the fight. That's exactly what Mad Lions need and, of course, want at this stage. In the 3-on-5, they really need a couple of mistakes to be made from Sprout if they want to try and start pulling their way back into the round. So Waro does look to see what's available around A. Just kind of holding on till his teammates are ready for the actual push forward. They're grouping up in Donut now. Already, though, you've got the one man in Temple, the player in the spawn, a very quick rotation available from mid as well. So this is not going to be an easy one at all for Mad Lions. They did a pretty smooth entry into the bomb site as they don't have any smoke siders to work with to actually hold those players off. So the actual bomb plant will be a very difficult thing to achieve as well. And they don't have a chance. Ralph won't let them pass. Two found from Temple already, and he's just so crisp. He actually gets a dink for like 4 damage right there on the Sussol. And will even eventually get himself the kill despite being low health. All right, Ralph. I'm very impressed, as I said, by what he's been delivering so far since being brought into this team. Even in the early games of ESEA Premier, when they had a couple of losses come their way, he still was just always performing. So it's a good sign when you also have the likes of Slacks and Favin as well there. And also Cressy. Can't forget him. He's been performing quite well.
Yeah, some good talent on this Sprout lineup. And finally, the streak of rounds from this Mad Lions side has been tamed, and the Beast maybe needs a little bit of time to reset before they can head back into things here. But with the AWP coming straight back up, Mad Lions have the cash to rebuy. They don't need to take any sort of ecos here. They actually have pretty decent cash still for the next round as well. So for Sprout, you've got to find at least 1, maybe 2 more to break this Mad Lions economy, which is not going to be a fun time. Spam through the wall. Really hasn't worked out well for TMB there. He's felt the brunt of it there. Down to 30 HP. Not going to be feeling too healthy after that one. That exchange.
No, not at all. Waro even tagged up a small bit. Won't make the world of a difference, I suppose, considering there's only the one M4 actually in play, so most of those guns are still one towards the head either way. It might help a little bit on the spray down to the body even. Anything really at this stage to make things that bit easier for Sprout, as they really have struggled. Obviously got their first round there a moment ago, but actually replicating that now and managing to chain together a few to pull themselves back up and into this game is going to be a very difficult experience. Pushing forward right into JL as he waits and lands. It's an easy spray down. Rals isn't going to find anything this time around. He's the hero of the A-bomb site in the last one, but this time on B, he's going to be overrun very quickly. Slacks and Favin have called for the save with that double up, as you would expect. But it's going to be 15 for Mad Lions. Map point is being found. This looked impossible nearly at the half-time. Sprout have got to be feeling very deflated right now. I haven't really been paying much attention to the cams, but earlier on I recall that they were all looking pretty happy. There were smiles all around. That's probably gone now.
I think I saw a bit of a smile from Waro there as well. Sourcel's getting into the groove of things. So, yeah, Mad Lions, I don't know what's happened, but it's certainly benefited them. They've got the T side sussed out here. Only dropped 1 round so far, as they now have match point 15 to 12, 3 attempts to try and get this one over the line. And Sprout, at least for them, they have that full buy coming through. They have Slacks on the AWP once more before M falls in with the buy as well. Are they going to be able to find much in this round? Because so far this half, they haven't been able to find much at all in any of these rounds. They've only secured one of them. You got a lot of work to do to try and turn this one around and get a few in a row here to try and force OT. But Mad Lions feel on the brink of securing this one. A huge, huge turnaround. As Favin's going to be in position towards Temple, might be the main point of contact, but actually he's going to get pulled over by the police, but by a bit of a fake towards that B site. He's actually just going to reposition towards TT, but no, never mind. He's going to fully start rotating over. It's just TMB alone, and now that he's gone down, there's not going to be any presence over towards the B site, and none from the CT side towards A. Only Slacks in towards the donut, hoping that maybe he can get one with the AWP, but forced back by the smoke. JL is going to be able to push deep in towards the site, looking for shots. He gets himself a double, a huge double, almost the triple. Speedy will shut him down. Sorcel's gone aggressive through the temple, and there might not be much for Sprout to work with here. It's Speedy and Slacks. 2-on-3, and Sorcel is still in his forward position, still looking for these shots. Slacks his up shot, not going to connect on the first time of asking, and Warrow will punish him. And Speedy, the last man to fall.